Hi everybody. So I just wanted to tell you a bit about toners for blonde hair. The main reason because I've seen so many videos on YouTube of people trying to tone the hair and it's come out either not worked or it's come out purple or it's come out grey. So I just thought I'd give you a bit of a helping hand. So the first thing is you've got to use the right shade of toner for what you want. So for example, if you've bleached your hair and it's gone orange, you need something to counteract the orange. So you need a blue toner. And if you're buying from somewhere professional that uses the international colour chart, so it works in numbers, you'll be looking for something like an 8, number 8, an 8-1 or an 8-9. And the 8 is blue, so that's what you'll be looking for. And that won't take you white blonde, but it will counteract the orange and it will create like a muddy, like a neutral colour. It'll be more of like a, I suppose, a fleshy brown, but it'll be better than the orange. And then if your hair is yellow like mine was before I toned it, you will need a purple, a violet toner, and that will get rid of the yellow, and it should sort of look a creamy blonde really when it's ready. So I use Wella, and the shade that I like for my hair when it's yellow is a 10/16. Now 1 is grey and 6 is violet, so that's quite a nice, it's not too purple but it's not too grey, so it's got a little bit of both. I'll show you this one, Koleston Perfect. Now the reason I've chosen a base 10 is the lightest shade. Now that's not going to matter too much, but these shades are designed for toning blonde hair because they're not going to grab as much and take it as dark as a lower depth would, like an 8 or 9. And what I do with toners is mix them with Pastel. Pastel is a special developer by Wella. And it's about between 2 and 3%, so about between 7 and 10 volume, depending on what you work in. So what I did, because this is cheaper than buying the actual pastel, and I do know what I'm doing with it, is I buy a cheaper version. It's just Oxide, it's called. Now I bought 6% with this because it's like £1.39, I don't know, that might be about $2.50, $3 in American. Probably similar in euros, I'm not quite sure. It's very cheap anyway, and it lasts for about 2 years. You can have this open when it's being used. And the reason I bought 6% is because I can use this to do my roots as well. And I'll explain more about that in another video about bleaching, why I use 20 vol 6%. And what I do with this is I mix half of this and half of water, and what that does is it dilutes it, so I get 3% or the sort of 7 to 10 volume that I need to tone my hair. With a toner you don't need any more than 10 volume, 3%, because all you're doing is putting tone in. So if you use something that's going to start lifting your hair, anything stronger, then it will end up just damaging your hair for no reason. And what we want to try and do is to put a bit of life back into the hair and a bit of shine back into the hair when we're doing that. So that's what I do anyway. And the mixing ratio for this is you mix 1 part of the Koleston Perfect, your actual toner, and then you mix 2 parts of your developer. So obviously I mix 1 part of this, 1 part of this with 1 part water, and that gives me about right. Give it a mix, and then when you put your toner on, you want to make sure to avoid the root area at all costs, because it will grab on and it will go purple or grey or blue depending on what you're using. So the most important thing to do really with the toner is to put it on really quick, get it on all over so that it's even developing, and keep an eye on it. Don't, even if it says 20 minutes on your manufacturer's instructions, don't go by that. Look at your hair, use a visual check, and keep wiping bits off, and once it looks like it's neutralised it and it's gone to the shade that you want, then you need to rinse it. Now if your roots are very yellow, which if your hair is dark might be the case, then I would suggest to give your toner most of the time that it needs, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes, and then to put it through on the roots just for the last few minutes, because it will grab on, because it's heat near your head as well. So just be careful of that. And then before you do tone, make sure that it's bleached evenly or lightened evenly all the way from roots to ends. Because if you apply your toner for yellow hair all over, then and you've got orange in the ends of your hair, then it's going to end up just turning it a muddy colour, and it's not really good. It's only going to work on the top half of your hair. So you do need to make sure that you lifted to an even base. There are products you can buy if your hair is uneven. For whatever reason, it might have been that you bleached your hair when you already had blonde bits in or lighter pieces in, and those pieces have gone white, and you can buy like a spraying conditioner. There's one called Infiltrate, not quite sure who it's by, but Infiltrate. And what you do is you just spray that on all over your hair, but try to spray it mostly on the patches which are more porous, so the whiter, lighter bits of hair, and then apply your toner, and then it should work evenly. But just to make sure to use a really visual check, and not to overdo it and not to underdo it, and just really use your own judgment, but get it on there really quick and avoid the roots. So that's about it really for toners. If you've got any questions for me, just ask away and I'll be happy to help.